Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Rodriguez, and today I want to talk about something that almost every organization faces on a daily basis sometimes, but does not do a really good job of communicating, and that's technology upgrades. And before I begin, I just want to apologize. I'm a little bit under the weather, so my nose is all stuffed up, and I hope you can understand me. And please bear with me. So, for most people, a technology change feels like a headache waiting to happen. There's confusion, frustration, and sometimes a lot of resistance. But when done right, when we communicate effectively, those same upgrades can actually build excitement, improve workflows, and sometimes strengthen trust. My focus today is on how adapting communication to different audiences can make technology transition smoother and more successful, especially when most of the audience is not technical. I'll start by explaining why adapting communication styles matter. Then move into strategies for explaining technology to non-technical stakeholders, and finally, I'll share how these principles have helped me in my own experience as a system analyst. Okay, so why adaptation matters? Every day in my field, which is I'm a system analyst for a healthcare system based out of South Florida. New systems are introduced every day. These systems improve accuracy, speed, and the overall goal is to improve patient care and patient safety. But even the most advanced technology can fail if people don't understand it or trust it. When we present a new upgrade to users, they're typically clinicians, nurses, doctors, pharmacists, and the people that are really in the trenches every day. So they don't, they tend not to understand the technical jargon and the technical terms. And it's not that they're incapable, but they're just not trained in that area. Just for instance, if I were to talk to a pharmacist, I wouldn't know the technical terms that they use. So, having said that, it's very important that they're able to make sense of it all. Sometimes we can talk over people's heads, trying to sound smart, and it ends up coming off condescending, to be honest. Adaptation is not about watering down the information, it's about connecting through relevance, what actually matters to the user. Here's some strategies for communicating tech upgrades clearly. For one, you want to simplify it without dumbing it down. People don't need every technical detail, like I said. They need to know how the upgrade affects them in particular. Instead of explaining something like database architecture, people don't really care about that. We try to focus on outcomes like faster logins, fewer errors, reduced downtimes, things that actually matter to the end user, usually specifically for their job function and job role. We tend to use visual and real examples. When briefing teams, visuals like before and after workflows help people understand the changes the quickest. Even a simple screenshot or short demo can reduce anxiety and build interest. Um, Also, you want to make it about them. Of course, leadership cares about efficiency and cost savings. Clinicians don't. They care about how we can improve their workflow and make their day easier and make it more efficient for them to uh, help patients. And especially, they do so much repetitive tasks, so you really have to tailor your angle to connect with each group that's impacted by the upgrade. How this looks in practice, I can give you a personal example for without saying too much. For my company in particular, we upgraded our system called it's called Cactus. Just say Cactus, and we which is our credentialing software for providers. Now this software. It's used every day by hundreds of different people. They're in and out doing all types of things, uploading licenses, you know, everything. And this system is basically how each provider, doctor, is given access in our system. So it's a really big deal. So we actually upgraded that from that version called Cactus to a newer version, which is completely different. I mean, some things were similar, but the end goal is similar, but the way that they get to that is completely different workflows, completely different everything. So to prepare for that, we created different briefings for leadership and clinical teams and support staff. We had it was a 2 year process. We had hundreds of meetings and training sessions where we tailored it to each different job role and each different function and how it impacted them personally. By the time we went live, most users weren't nervous because of this, and they're ready. Um, that's why that's one way you can overcome resistance through communication. Sometimes it seems redundant, but you gotta keep sending notifications telling people what's going on, and they might not read the emails, but as long as some of them do, and some of them get through, it makes a difference. It reduces fear and it builds trust. You want to communicate, like I said, communicate early, communicate often, share updates before, during, and after the upgrade. I can tell you for a person that was literally a 24-hour day for me. I worked from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. the next morning. Like I was all day all night thing. And the whole time we're on something called a bridge, which is literally just a Teams call, and we're just when people had issues, they got on the bridge and we worked through it with them, and it was very helpful. It was a very big learning experience for me as well. Now that's all. Another important part of this is leadership connection. Adapting communication is a leadership skill. When we understand our audience and adjust our tone, our pacing, and our examples, most importantly, we gotta show empathy. The empathy is what builds collaboration and support. From just the same example I used earlier, some of these people that worked in that system cactus, like I said, they've been doing that same job for 5 to 10 years, and now we're coming saying, hey, we're using something different, and yeah, it is going to help their job, but you have to be empathetic and realize that they might not want the help. They might just want to continue doing it how they've been doing it because they're used to it, and it's for them it's second nature. So there is going to be some frustration. There's going to be some challenges, and you have to be comfortable and willing to listen and not judge. And like I said, be empathetic. That's a big part of it. Every technology upgrade is ultimately a people project, not a software project. Our system may run on code, but our success runs on communication. If we adapt our messages to our audiences with clarity and purpose, we can turn upgrades into opportunities.